Oh, you poor, poor thing of a bride. You went through all that effort of inviting all those guests, yet not a single one of them is going to be showing up. How does that feel for you? Please tell me. What? I'm sure it's not only heartbreaking for you, but very embarrassing as well, right? I'm so sorry about that, Raven. I stole all your guests from you. But this was bound to happen to you, right? After all, people would much rather come to a beautiful woman's wedding like mine than to some ugly woman's wedding. I'm not really sure what all of this is about right now, so could you please explain it to me? I guess there aren't any of my guests here yet, but they should all be here soon, right? Huh? Oh, not a single person is going to be coming to your wedding. Everyone from the office is coming to my wedding today, so there won't even be a single person on your guest list attending today. What? Wah, wah, wah. This is what happens when an ugly woman like you tries to be cheeky and pull a wedding. Even though you went through all that trouble to make those plans up, not a single person will be coming to see you today, so this will leave a blemish on your past for sure. You've been going on about how nobody will be coming to my wedding, right? So does that mean today you'll be having your wedding as well, Skye? That's correct. I thought this would be fun to do, so I went and made sure to schedule mine on the same day as yours. All with the hope of ruining your wedding for you. What? So you're intentionally trying to ruin my wedding? Honestly, I was wanting to have my wedding before yours, but not a single place had openings any sooner than today. So in the end, I ended up having to choose the same day as you. But of course, out of all the people we both invited, not a single one of them would choose to go to your wedding over mine. And there was no way I would have my wedding any later than yours, because I'm not coming in second place to some ugly monkey. I truly thought that you, of all people, would stay single for the rest of your life. But then you came into the office talking about how you would have a wedding coming up. That got me all worked up, and I had to hustle to make sure I'd find myself a man to marry. But of course, since I'm so good looking, that wasn't too hard for me at all. Before I even had a chance to call out to anyone, I had already found myself the perfect man to make mine forever. That's your reason for why you're getting married and on the same day as me? And you've gone and invited everyone from work as well? I wanted to make sure you didn't get ahead of me in any way, so there you go. Now, being the gross woman that you are, shut your mouth and let this happen. I'm sorry for stealing all your guests from that wedding you worked so hard on, but I'm sure the groom will be just as ugly, if not more ugly than you, so nobody will want to see any of that. Are you not aware of who I'm getting married to? What? I'm having this wedding with Mr. Gardner, the department manager. You were going on and on and on at the office about how attractive he was and everything. So it's a little messed up of you to call him ugly now just because he's getting married to me. Wait a second, please. You're getting married to... Huh? To Mr. Gardner? That's right. I'm kind of used to you always calling me ugly and such, but I'm not okay with you calling my husband ugly now. Drake is not at all ugly, and even you acknowledged that in the office plenty of times. We both know how good he looks and that he's a cool guy. Huh? Did you just call him your husband then? There's no way Mr. Gardner would ever have a reason for getting married to an ugly duckling like you. And besides, he's a married man. He's so deeply in love with her that no matter how hard I tried flirting with him, he didn't bat an eye toward me. So how the hell could a man like him be getting married to you? That wife he's so deeply in love with is me. Drake and I have actually been married for 5 years now. Huh? What did you just say? The only people within the company that knew about us being married were his higher-ups. So don't take this too hard on yourself for not knowing anything. Actually, I kind of was making sure you didn't find out about how him and I have been married. Huh? I mean, Skye, ever since you moved into this office with me, you've had your eyes set on him, right? You also have been calling me ugly ever since joining us and always go on about how I could never get married. I thought that if you found out about me being married to him of all people, things would only become worse regarding how you treat me. That's why for plenty of years now, both him and I have done everything we could to make sure you'd stay in the dark. Wait. I have no idea what you're going on about. The man I've been after all this time, Mr. Gardner, is your husband? He's the only man I've ever flirted with that hasn't even bothered to look at me. That's why I gave up on him and went after another man. You're telling me the reason he's never bothered with me is because he's married to the most ugly woman at work? The most ugly? And you're the most insulting. Then tell me, why are you guys only deciding to have your wedding now? If you guys got married to one another 5 years ago, then why have the wedding now? At the time, neither him nor I really cared at all about the theatrical things like the wedding or the honeymoon. We both chose to get ourselves a house that we really loved first before dumping any of our money into those things. But recently, he's really been wanting to see what I'd look like in a wedding dress. So we decided in the end that we'd host the wedding on our anniversary, which just so happens to be today. You're having the wedding on your anniversary? It's funny how you were just going on about not wanting me to get married any earlier than you were, right? It's been 5 years now, so you're 5 years late. What the hell? Who do you think you are laughing at me? It's starting to sound like you find my situation pretty funny now. Well, that's because the situation you've gotten yourself into is pretty funny. I've been married for years now and will have plenty of people coming today for my wedding. What? Now I have to get back to the dressing room because Drake and I have a wedding to give. I hope both you and I can have a very nice wedding today.
I just got my parents to the hotel they'll be staying at tonight. Both of them were so happy to be with us today and said that the wedding was amazing.
I just got my parents back to their house as well. I think those two were even more excited to see their daughter in a dress than you were to see your wife in one. They took so many photos on their phones of us that they have to go back and delete some to make room again.
I'm so happy that both of our families had a great time today. And seeing you today, looking that beautiful, was the best thing I've seen. Ever. But sorry about this morning, Raven. I'm sure you were shocked by what Skye was saying.
I've told you already not to worry about what she said. You knew about how she was planning to try and ruin this wedding and keep that a secret as to not worry me, right?
The fact that everyone in the office told me about what was going to happen really helped. Everyone was a little confused about what to do today because of those 2 invitations, so they came to me looking for answers. So, lucky for that, I was able to tell them all to still come to our wedding and avoid Skye's at all costs. I know that a few people went to her wedding, but even they chose to come here right after to say hi to us and see how happy we both looked.
And luckily for that, we were able to avoid having our wedding ruined by her.
I wanted to make sure you wouldn't have any worries today, and only smile the way I like you to. I really am thankful for what everyone did today. I was a bit worried myself that not everyone would get the notice and would end up going to Skye's wedding instead. But pretty much everyone did come on time, and that's such a blessing for you and I.
From what I heard, those that did go to Skye's wedding only stayed around for 30 minutes before coming to ours. They all said congrats to her and then immediately turned around and came here. I'm sure Skye may be a little upset right now.
Now, she can get as mad as she wants, but this all happened to her because of what she had done. What did she think she was doing, trying to get everyone to go to her wedding in order to ruin ours? What a sore loser she is. Also, I heard from a few of the people in the office that when she handed out the invitations last minute, she said they only needed to stop by for a little bit, so she was kind of already setting herself up for failure.
Really? Well, then she has no reason to get upset with anyone but herself.
Now, I know that you and I were able to have a great wedding today, but she really did have people worried, including myself. When we get back to the house, let's you and I open a couple beers and celebrate.
You've really done it now after what happened yesterday. Ruining my frickin' wedding like that? And marrying the man of my dreams 5 years ago like that? Give me back the love of my life right now. What are you talking about, Skye? You only met Drake a few years ago, so he's not been the love of your life. And don't you have a husband yourself now? I heard you got married to a very impressive lawyer. He is very impressive and has lots of money, and I'd have to say he's perfect as my husband. But I am talking about our manager now. The only reason I chose this lawyer is because Mr. Gardner never ever looked at me and made me his wife. So you've really been wanting Drake that badly? Why did you get to end up being the wife of that man? I thought that if he had the audacity to ignore me all the time, then that meant he had a really gorgeous-looking wife. I thought that he was married to one of the most important people on this planet, a celebrity, if you will. But instead, it turns out he's married to one of my coworkers, and just to make matters worse, the worst-looking woman in the office. I will not let you get away with this. Say that all you'd like, Skye, but we've been married for 5 years now and just had our wedding. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to make sure to steal that husband of yours no matter what. What? Steal him from me? If I don't, then it's going to look like I've gone and lost to an ugly whore. Ever since I was in middle school, I've been able to get my hands on whatever man I've liked. So I'm going to make you taste the kind of power I have. Let's calm down here. You need to hold your horses there for a sec, Skye. Before you go and start trying to steal someone's husband, how about you think about the position you're really in? You yourself just got married to your husband yesterday, right? You have a man now, so how are you going to go about stealing another woman's husband? I'll think about that after I have your husband. I can just divorce my husband and take Mr. Gardner after that. Or I can just continue to date him while acting like I'm still in love with my current husband. Honestly, I'm okay with anything as long as I get to have your husband. Why are you such a bitch, Skye? I can be a bitch all I want because us pretty girls can get away with anything we want. And even if people start to find out I've been cheating on my husband with yours, my husband is a lawyer and is love-struck by me. There's no way he'd want to divorce me over a little bit of cheating anyway. Well, he's wanting that divorce. Huh? I'm actually with your husband right now. And I've been showing him every little thing you've been saying to me this whole time. So guess what? He wants to divorce you now. Wait a second. Why are you with my husband right now? Today he should be at work and so should you. He was a bit worried about his wife, so he came out to see Drake and I. He's been so worried about the way you've been acting that he needed to come and talk to 2 of the people you work with about you. How wonderful of a husband you have, Skye. Too bad you're letting him go. What? From what he's told us, you were acting all high and mighty yesterday morning, thinking you were doing the right thing by marrying him last minute in order to beat me. Also telling him that you had planned to steal all my guests in order to ruin my wedding. Well, he wasn't too happy to hear all that from you and instead started to feel really concerned after the wedding was over with. He just told my husband that he can even use his position as a manager for this company to take you to court for trying to ruin his wedding. Your husband's face is very red right now because of how upset he is with you. Excuse me? It was tough for both myself and Drake to explain to him what's been going on with you inside the office and outside of it, but your husband is a very level-headed individual. He listened to everything we had to say to him without saying a single word. And he knows that neither of us are to blame for your behavior. We even went and showed him the texts you were sending me on the day of the wedding. And he began to apologize to me for all the rude things you were saying. He even got on his hands and knees and apologized for your actions. Hold the hell up. You went and told every little detail to that man? And you showed him all the texts I sent to you? And that was the easiest way to get him to understand what was going on with you. I just got a text from him. He's telling me the divorce is happening. He may have been love-struck by you, but that didn't last long at all after he realized what a child you really are. He's even gone and told us that he hates women like you, thinking you can do whatever you want because of your looks. What? My husband had also been recording a lot of the things you say to him at the office. All kinds of things, like you flirting with him and talking poorly about others in the office to make yourself look better. All of that was recorded and more. Even those times where Drake would obviously say no to your advances, but you'd just keep pushing and pushing until you forced him to get up and leave work for the day. What? My husband really knows how to cover all his corners when dealing with risks inside the company. Who knew all those audio recordings would really come in handy today? So then this means my husband knows about everything? About all the times I tried so hard to get with Mr. Gardner? And about all of those love letters I've been placing on his desk for the past year? There's also the things like you throwing away all those lunches I made for him, and then you going to him during lunchtime and trying to force him to eat the lunch you'd make for him. There are even some audio recordings here that I never heard about, and they've really got me riled up. Wait, at the time... Consider this the end of your super short marriage, Skye. So please, enjoy what talks are to come after your husband gets back home to you. How could you do this to me? Because of you, we really are going to be getting a divorce now. I thought that after a week had gone, things were getting nowhere, but it seems your husband really wants that divorce, huh? Please let your husband know my husband and I say congrats. Shut the hell up! This was my impressive and rich lawyer that I finally got for myself. We even had our wedding, and only days later he's wanting a divorce and is going to get it. Why is this happening to me? You're really asking why now? The reason for that divorce is because of your toxic behavior, so I think that you're getting exactly what you were asking for now. Don't start acting like this was anyone else's fault. Huh? No matter how you think of this, it's all your fault. You thought that as an ugly woman, you could be married, and you were the one that went and married my man of all people and caused this to happen to me. Yet you're going to keep on acting like none of this is your fault and isn't affecting you in any way? You have no right to act that way. Now that you've done this to me, I'm going to do the same thing to you. You divorce Drake right now. No, thank you, Skye. Unlike you, my relationship with Drake is very strong, and we are both very happy with one another. Shut your frickin' mouth. I'm telling you to get that damn divorce, so do it. If you don't, then things will be unfair for me. How come I have to be the one to get a divorce while you, of all people, get to be happily married to a man like him? I will not let that happen. Would you calm down already? Drake and I have been thinking about having kids, but if this is the way they act, then I think we'll just get a cat instead. All that yelling isn't going to get you anywhere and will only land you in the ER. Shut up! Don't talk back to me like that, you ugly whore! You give your husband to me right now! I know that even a man like him wants a beauty like me to become his wife, so hurry up and give me Mr. Gardner! I know that right now he's regretting ever getting married to an ugly freak like you.
I'm not regretting it at all. If anything, I'm extremely thankful to have her. Raven is not only important to me, but is also the most beautiful woman I've ever laid my eyes upon.
What?
I think it's time for you to stop throwing a temper tantrum, you big baby. I've made it so clear to you many times now that I'm not into you at all and have a wife of my own. Yet for some reason, that never seems to mean anything to you, and you continue to try harder and harder. When are you gonna give the hell up?
Is this you, Mr. Gardner? Oh, Mr. Gardner, I really, really love you. You have a handsome face and do your work so well that I would love to make you my husband. I think that someone as outstanding as you would look perfect as my husband. Don't you want to have yourself a gorgeous wife?
I already have one. She has a very good posture, and her body's balance is something most models would die for. Actually, a nut job like you would never work well beside me, considering your character is more rotten than that of a jack-o'-lantern on Christmas Day. So it's a huge no from me.
What?
You said it yourself. I have a handsome face, work very well, I'm a nice guy to be around. And that means someone like me would most definitely not look great with an ugly woman like you.
What? Wait. Did you just call me ugly? The most beautiful woman in the company, ugly? The manager called me ugly?
How many times are you going to say that? I don't get how you can keep on calling yourself the most beautiful when 90% of the office thinks you're not only physically ugly, but mentally as well. Every single thing about you is disturbing, and it makes even the most kind people in the office shiver.
Huh? Why would you say so many horrible things about me? I am meant for you. A beauty like me has told you so many times now that I love you, yet you keep being so rude.
Who do you think you are saying that you're meant for me? Didn't you just marry another man like a week ago?
I only married him because he was second on my list. Really, I want to be with you and only you. I always wanted to be with you, and I'll leave him for you. I really want to marry you because you and I are meant to be.
Well, could you please tell me who is your third in line? What about your fourth? Or fifth?
What?
Skye, I'm going to change character for a second here and be your manager now. You should no longer come back to the office, alright? Look, someone like you who never gets any work done and just goes around the office all day talking to men, not something this company allows. So you're being fired now.
What? Wait a second, please. You said I'm being fired? And have been talking with men all this time at work?
Don't try playing dumb with me, alright? This morning, I had 3 women come in, claiming to be your boyfriend's wife.
3 women? At the same time?
One of them is a customer to the company. Another works at a hair salon down the street. It seems like you've been going out with all kinds of people's husbands now, huh? And let's not talk about all the time you take off from work to go out and fool around. There's already more than enough evidence of that. And those 3 wives made sure to let me know about it.
Hold on, please,
And in order to hide the fact that you've been taking such long breaks some days and not coming to work on other days, you've been forcing colleagues in the office to finish up your work for you. I'm sorry to say, there's nothing else this company can do for you besides fire you.
No way. Oh, please, just wait a minute, Mr. Gardner. I can't be fired right now. I'm being divorced by my husband right now, and he's asking for me to pay him back for the whole wedding we had. If I lose my job now, I won't be able to carry on.
Don't get so upset there, Skye. Someone as tenacious and stubborn as you can do anything. You're like a cockroach, and no matter how tough things seem to get, you'll find a way.
A cockroach?
Now that you're all up to speed on current affairs, I'm going to start working on the documents I need to hand in for your termination. This also means you're never to come around my wife and I again. If for some reason you still don't listen to me and do show your face again around us, then I'll have to take further action. Not as your ex-manager, but as Raven's husband. And you really don't want to experience that.
After everything that happened, my husband went and handed in the termination documents to HR, and Skye was officially fired from the company. Right after that happened, she then went back to her ex-husband, the lawyer, and begged for him to help her out by protecting her a little longer. She cried and cried and cried, saying she'd be his one and only, but he didn't listen to her and completely turned her away. Then, out of some strange form of luck, he was later seen fighting her in the courtroom as those wives of the men that Skye had been going out with made him their lawyer. Having all the evidence they needed made all the court cases go by smoothly, and all 3 of them were able to get a settlement from her. Because of all the debt, she had to go into borrowing money for all those settlements and the money she owed her ex for the wedding fees. Skye had to leave town and move back home with her parents, where she's now working at a dirty little dive bar.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video. Hey you, why didn't you just tell me that you're gonna be getting married? What's going on? You really should have told me that you were gonna be getting married before I found out on my own. How could you just hide this from me like this? I thought we were childhood friends, huh? Oh, hey Marilyn, it's been a long time, huh? Sorry that I wasn't able to message you sooner and let you know about it, but it wasn't like I was trying to keep it from you, you know? I was going to tell you. I was even getting ready to send you the wedding invitations later on too. We were just so busy with all the preparations and whatnot. How could you invite me using a wedding invitation like that, Sharon? Come on, we're better than that. I thought we were super close friends, huh? You can't just go full lazy mode on me like that. We've grown up with each other like we were siblings, basically. You're basically a sister from another mister. I really feel like, with how close we were, it would make more sense for us to meet up and you just tell me in person about your wedding. I'm seriously sorry about that, Marilyn. I've just been incredibly busy with work and I haven't even been back to my hometown in a really long time. It's been years. You know how it is. When we get older, it starts being more difficult for us to just go home when you want. It's even harder to just meet up with your friends, you know? Oh, look at you, just blaming your work like any reasonable adult. Don't be like the rest of them, Sharon. I know you're better than that. You just wanted to hide the fact that you managed to score a really rich man, right? I know what you're thinking because we're close like that. My mom told me everything I need to know. She was happy to tell me. She said that you are engaged to a future CEO of a really huge corporation. Look at that. Moving up in the world, huh? You must be excited. He's also the only son, which means he's the first in line for taking over the company, right? I would be so excited if I were in your shoes. You're kidding. How does she already know that much about my fiancé? I don't get how word gets around that quickly. Ugh. I'm sure my mom has been talking a lot to your mom. That's probably how she found out. She's just too happy that her little daughter is finally going to be getting married. She won't shut up. She must be running around telling other people about our business. Ugh, I didn't give her permission. You can't just do me dirty like that, Sharon. I want to get married too, and especially to someone who's rich. You know how long it's been since I've even gone on a date? I want to find my own heir that's going to be taking me out to French places every night. You know, it's basically my childhood dream to marry someone rich so I don't have to work, right? I mean, I don't know what you expect me to do with that information, but you're really cute and bubbly, so I really don't think there's going to be any issues finding the Mr. Perfect, right? I think you're looking too hard. That Mr. Perfect will be right around the corner and you'll run into him when you least expect it. Wait, you really think so? You were always the neighborhood idol. Everybody loved how cute you were, and all the neighbors would just constantly talk about how you were the cutest thing around. I remember when we were in high school, there were all the boys who just kept talking to me, and they only had one reason they would talk to me. It was because they knew that we had grown up together, and if they got close to me, they would probably find a way to get closer to you. That's how popular you were. Someone who's that popular will be able to find someone to marry really quick. Just gotta try a little. Okay, I have a good idea then, Sharon. Why don't you just give me your fiancé, huh? That's a great idea. Then, I don't have to worry about trying to go find someone who's willing to marry me, and I also get to get married to someone who's gonna be rich like I've always wanted. Wait, what? Oh, come on, Sharon, don't be stingy. Share a little. I want to marry your fiancé. You have to let me steal your fiancé from you, okay? Because it's meant to be. You've always been so incredibly kind to me, Sharon. It's really unbelievable how kind you've been towards me. You won't have any issues handing over the love of your life to me, right? What the hell are you talking about, Marilyn? Are you okay? There's no way in hell that I'm gonna do that. It's not like he's just a trading card or something either. What? Come on. You said that I would be able to find Mr. Perfect right around the corner, right? Those were your words, not mine. You said that I could marry really quick. It wouldn't take me long if I just tried a little. Well, I tried a little and came to the conclusion that I want to marry your fiancé, okay? That's what I want. Share it to your adorable younger sister. Come on, you know you want to. Don't be stingy. That's not what I meant by you'll find someone if you just try a little. You completely misunderstood what I said. You really need to calm down and stop talking like a crazy person, Marilyn. You're starting to scare me, just a little bit, so go for a run or something. Sharon, you're so stingy. Why wouldn't you share? You used to always just share everything with me, give me things that I wanted, no matter what. There's not a chance in hell that I would possibly give you any human, let alone my own fiancé. No. I don't like this at all. Marilyn wants to get married too, and she wants to get married to someone who's incredibly rich. If you don't share your super rich, awesome fiancé with me, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm going to be so upset that I'm going to actually start to cry. I'm going to be crying so much that you're going to be in so much trouble, Sharon. You're going to really regret the fact that you didn't share your fiancé with me. I'm so sorry to bother you during your work hours, Terry. I just have something that I want to talk to you about. Well, actually, it's more something that I want to ask you for help about. Do you have a second to listen?
Yeah, what's up, Sharon? Oh, wait, hold on. Is there something going on about the wedding? I'm pretty sure I told them to contact me if anything was wrong.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of related to the wedding. Well, technically, I guess it's more related to marriage. I just figured I would talk to you before it came something bigger and got out of hand, you know? I want to keep an open line of communication between us. So, you remember that I was telling you about the girl I grew up with? We were childhood friends and we went to the same school and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that girl. What was her name? Marilyn? She knows your family and everything, right? Yeah, I remember. You said something about how she's like 2 years younger than you and you two grew up together, like you two were sisters or something. I'm really looking forward to meeting her at the wedding. You know how I love meeting all the important people in your life.
Yeah, so it's funny that you bring that up because that's the girl that I want to talk to you about. I want you to be careful around her, okay? I feel like she might say something. If she does decide to reach out to you, I want you to just ignore her. Her name is Marilyn, like you said, and if she says anything at all to you, then you just ignore her and let me know. You definitely can't reply to her, and you absolutely must not meet up with her, okay? You just ignore and let me know ASAP.
Wait, what? Why can't I reply to your friend, and why would your friend be messaging me?
Well, she's really cute, and I love her to death because we grew up together and whatnot, but her personality is a little weird to put it nicely. I don't like it. She kinda wants everything that I want, and she won't let it go. Every time I bought a new toy, she wants the same new toy. She just wants what I have. This time around, when she found out that I'm marrying you, she's suddenly all over it and talking about how she wants to marry you and how she wants me to give you to her.
Wait, hold on. She's saying that she wants to steal your fiancé?
Yeah, I know. I was pretty surprised too. I really wasn't expecting her to say anything like that. I was just expecting her to be really happy for my marriage or maybe be jealous of my wedding dress.
Okay, do me a favor and ignore that kind of nonsense from your brain ASAP, because there's no point in caring for people like that. I'm sure the truth of it is that she just misses you, and that is turning into somehow she wants to marry this new person. Maybe she's just confused. I'm sure she's just being emotional, no matter what it is, and she's just saying things that she doesn't really mean.
You know, I wish you were right, but I don't want you to underestimate Marilyn. Don't make that mistake. When she says that she wants something, she doesn't stop at anything until she is able to secure that thing. I don't think she's ever just given up once she set her eye on something. I've honestly been pretty annoyed and troubled by how I should handle that kind of thing from since we were young kids.
Wait, are you serious? I thought you two were close friends.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was young and got a brand new toy, she wanted it. If I got any new clothes, she wanted it. It didn't matter what it was. If I had it, she wanted the same thing, or rather, she wanted my thing. At first, I was okay with sharing, but eventually, it started getting tiring of the same thing over and over, so I just started telling her that I couldn't share. When I started turning her down, she started crying every single time I would say no and kept bothering me until I eventually would just cave because she wouldn't stop crying. I mean, she really wouldn't stop until I said okay. She even started bringing in my parents into it and making a big deal out of it. You wouldn't believe the amount of determination this little girl had towards getting the exact same doll as me.
Yeah, okay. I'm starting to see how that's a little bit scary. The fact that she wants me that badly, though? I kinda get what you're starting to say here. You're saying that she might do whatever it takes to try and get me to marry her instead of you. That's what you're worried about, right? What she might do?
Yeah, I feel like one of the things she might do just to come at you head on and try to take you away. I don't know. You can call it a hunch from all of the experience I have with her. She's honestly one of the most cutest and attractive girls that I can think of off the top of my head, you know? She's got a really pretty smile, she's skinny, she's almost like some kind of actress or something in Hollywood. When I think about how a girl that cute is going to be going for you, I'm actually pretty worried too, you know? I mean, she's probably cuter than me, so...
Don't worry about it, Sharon. You're alright. There's no chance I would ever do anything to betray you. You're the love of my life, Sharon. I'll take your warning and use it from now on. If she ever decides to try to say anything, I'll remember what you said. I'll make sure that I just ignore her, and I'll do everything I can to make sure that I don't cause you any kind of headache, okay? So don't worry about it.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. I did it! I finally did it. Your fiancé? Yeah, he's mine now. He's all mine and there's nothing that you can do about it, Sharon. I hope you regret not sharing. Your Mr. Perfect is now Marilyn's Mr. Perfect, and that's the way it's gonna be. Marilyn is gonna be Terry's perfect little wife and stays at home with him on the weekends. Wait, what? I really can't believe that you weren't willing to trade and share your fiancé with me. You used to be so kind when you were young, and now you're just keeping it all to yourself. You ignored me when I asked for his contact info too. Seriously, what has gotten into you, Sharon? Ugh. I don't know if you were going around all your contacts and telling them that you didn't want them to talk to me about the details or what, but your mom wouldn't tell me anything either. That's why it was super difficult for Marilyn to do this, but you should know that I did it. Hang on a second, Marilyn. What are you talking about? I need you to slow down and explain to me what you're talking about. Who's yours? You said that my fiancé is yours now? Terry? What are you going on about? I'm saying that Marilyn has taken your fiancé, Sharon. In other words, I'm going to be marrying your fiancé. Do you still not understand what I'm saying? It's your fault for not telling me anything. You have no idea how difficult you made it for me to find the contact info. I had to work so hard to try to figure out how to get in touch with him. Then, once I found his contact info, I said screw it and messaged him asking him to marry me instead of you. Then, you want to know what he said, Sharon? Terry said that he was going to marry me instead. I know, I was super excited too. Aren't you happy for me? He specifically said he didn't want you to be his wife. He wanted me, Marilyn, to be his wife. He specifically said me too. There was no beating around the bush. What are you talking about? Explain yourself. Oh, I'm saying that now I'm going to be able to live my dreams. I'm going to get married to a rich man. I'm going to enjoy the rich life to the fullest extent. You have no idea how much I look forward to doing this. Thank you. Wait, hang on, Marilyn. You're not answering any of my questions and you just kept moving forward. Are you saying that you're going to marry Terry? And when you say that, are you being serious or are you just messing around with me? What kind of question is that? Of course I wouldn't say this kind of thing as some kind of joke. This is not something that I would be joking around about. I'm super serious. Just think about me and my personality when we were kids. Have I ever lied to you about me wanting something? I've always gone straight for whatever I wanted and I've never rested until I got it. And trust me, there's nothing in this world that has ever stopped me from getting what I want. I mean, yeah, I know that's how you are, but... Yeah, so you understand then, right? I need you to just give up on Terry, okay? You're done. He's mine now and there's no turning back. Terry is already head over heels for me and starting today, we're gonna be living together. Isn't this all so exciting? I'm so happy that this is all happening so quickly. Wait, what? You're already living together? Yeah, could you believe it? He proposed to me, and then the very next day after he proposed to me, he was talking about moving in. And before I knew it, he already bought a huge room in a skyscraper for me and gave me the keys to the home saying it was our home. Wait, what? Some kind of skyscraper? Yeah, just so you know, it's not just a super regular room that you can find in some rich people neighborhoods. It's super special. He actually bought me this super high class room that only the finest people of society are able to even qualify to purchase. The view is great and the rooms are just impeccable. There's enough room to fit 10 families in there. I'm seriously impressed by how powerful this air is. According to what he said, the rent is like $20K a month, I think. I don't remember the small details. Wow, that really is some kind of incredible room that he bought you, huh? Never would believe it. Yeah, so thank you so much, Sharon. I don't think I ever would have found this if it wasn't for you. Although we always argue about it and whatnot, you seem to always end up giving me whatever I want if I argue and fought about it enough. Thanks to you being so kind to me, though. I'm one of the happiest women alive. I don't think there are any childhood friends who are this kind and convenient in the world. I must be super blessed. What? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you wanted, I can go ahead and invite you over to the house and show you around. Would you be interested in that? I could show you around the room that I'm going to be living in, which is ironic because it was technically an apartment that you might have been living in. I mean, this apartment, all of the rooms, all of the furniture, and most importantly, all of Terry are mine now, but at the very least, I can show you the view from the rooms, right? I'm too kind to you. I feel like I should be rewarded or something. I really don't want to see that. I don't know what kind of world I would live in to see that. Anyway, Marilyn, I don't think you ever answered my question. Are you being serious when you're trying to marry my fiancé, Terry? You're not joking? I've been saying that I'm serious this whole time. What, you think I'm lying about living with him in this gigantic apartment? You'll understand when you see the apartment that this place is way too small for me to live alone. Terry and this life are all mine. The next person that's gonna be living in this apartment is me, Marilyn. Terry is right next to me and he's gonna be living with me while we spend our lives together. You do realize that the house that we live in is a regular house, right? Wait, what? Yeah, and Terry? Terry is sitting right next to me right now. We're together. What? I'm sorry, Marilyn, but Terry and I, we've already put our marriage papers in. We did it a while ago. The wedding is probably going to be a ways down the line because, you know, his household situation isn't exactly simple or easy, but it's alright. We agreed that it would be okay for us to at least put in our papers for the marriage. And yeah, you're right. He did buy a place to live, but it's definitely not in some skyscraper, and I'm pretty sure it's only got one floor. Sorry to break it to you. I don't like rooms in skyscrapers anymore. I'm tired of them. I prefer a regular house with no extra floors and just a giant yard. I don't want to take an elevator to my house. That's what he was saying, so he went ahead and built us a house in the middle of the city. It's pretty big though. In the middle of the city? A giant house with a yard and everything? Right now we're both just kind of hanging out in our bungalow while looking out over a pasture of a yard. It's actually really relaxing, hearing the birds chirp. I'm sorry, but I have to ask you one more time. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. Are you really going to marry my husband? Are you sure about that? Actually, the better question is who is right next to you right now. You said it was Terry, but it's most definitely not. Well, what do you mean? It's definitely Terry, right? The only reason that I'm with Terry right now is because I thought this was your fiancé, Terry, and I wanted to marry him, so it wouldn't make any sense for me to be with anyone else. Okay, I have a good idea. Maybe you should really recheck and check again who you're spending your time with right now. Alright, I'll see myself out right now. I don't know what to do, Sharon. I screwed up. It looks like Marilyn made a terrible, terrible mistake. This is all a huge misunderstanding. It turns out that this Terry just had the same first name, and same last name, and same middle name too. Wait, what? Are you serious? He says that he runs a business and he's got the exact same name as your fiancé. Literally all three of his names are the exact same. I don't know what's going on. I really thought that this Terry was your Terry because everything was identical. I mean, he literally runs his own company too. How was I supposed to know the difference? But apparently that was just some kind of a huge mistake, huh? I don't know what to do. Oh man, I think I remember Terry telling me something about that the other day. He said that in the States, or at least Texas, one of the most common names of business owners is Terry. That's why he works extra hard on his business cards because he doesn't want to be confused with the 5 million other Terrys who run companies in Texas. I don't believe this at all. I thought I was able to get the Terry, the one and only Terry that I wanted. But it turns out that this is just some random Terry that you aren't even engaged to. I just wanted to get married to your fiancé. What the hell, Sharon? Oh, come on, Marilyn. You don't need to get that upset about all of this. Think about it. Yeah, it's someone else, and yeah, it's not the Terry that I am engaged to, but that person is also a CEO, right? That's a fact. Doesn't that mean that you're going to be able to get rich by getting married to someone? You really don't have to worry about giving up your rich and lavish lifestyle either. It's a win-win. No, this isn't okay. It's not a win. I wanted to live a rich, lavish lifestyle, but that's not all I wanted to do. Yes, it's important. And yes, I love that I get to live a celebrity life, but that's not the key factor here. The biggest part and the most important thing about all of this is that I have to steal him from you. Don't you get it? If I don't do that, then I won't be able to feel accomplished, don't you understand? Where's the fun in that? Sense of accomplishment? Sense of fun? And you keep saying something like I'm gonna be rich and whatnot just because I got married to him, but I can't. This Terry, the one that's sitting next to me right now, is married. Do you understand what this means, Sharon? His wife is literally knocking on the door of the apartment, and we are in a serious situation. I don't know what the hell to do or how to handle all of this. Married? He's married? You've got to be kidding me, right? Your Terry has a wife? Oh my god, Marilyn. This is starting to look more and more like I was just being played with. Like I was just a side chick. This apartment in a giant skyscraper? Yeah, apparently he didn't buy this room for me either. Who would have thunk, right? He's always had this room, and anytime this Terry decided to have a little fun with his newest side chick, he just lets them live here to pretend they're special. When you look around the room, you can see that there's some traces of a different woman living here. Honestly, it doesn't even take that much time to figure out. There are like 2 or 3 other makeup bags and facial packs that I've never seen before. Ah, so this is his little Playboy getaway room, huh? For all of his little playthings. Sounds like that Terry is quite the catch, and by catch I mean you might want to go get tested. I don't know what to do, Sharon. Help me! Am I gonna be getting sued by the wife? Is that what's gonna happen next? But come on! I didn't know that Terry had a wife, so I should be safe from any of the lawsuits, right? Like, that kind of ignorance should realistically grant you immunity from being sued? Yeah. I'm sorry, Marilyn, but I'm not sure about that. You thought that the Terry was my fiancé, Terry, right? Which means that you were dating that Terry under the pretense that you were by trying to steal him from someone, right? I don't know how well your logic is going to be held up in court when you try to claim that you had no idea what you were doing and you were just trying to find true love. I don't know, Marilyn. This is all a little too complicated for me. Why don't you go talk to a lawyer and see what they say about this? Okay, great idea, Sharon. Who's going to be paying for the consolation fees for a lawyer? You realize how rude and terrible this Terry is? He said that I was just a side chick and that his real main chick is his wife. Can you believe the audacity of this guy? That's why he said that he's not going to help me out at all with any kind of legal fees or anything. He says that I'm used up and that he has no use for me, so I need to leave by tomorrow. He just threw me away like I was just garbage that he didn't need. What the hell? Yeah, it sounds like that Terry is pretty shitty, unlike my husband Terry. My Terry is actually incredibly nice and loves me and takes care of me. Please, I'm begging you, Sharon. I need you to save me and get me out of this mess. You got married to the heir of the huge corporation, right? That means that you have more than enough money to go around. At the very least, you can help me out with the legal fees that I'm gonna have to pay for this, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, Marilyn, but you're insane if you think that I'm gonna be paying anything for you. Anyway, good luck with everything going forward. I'll talk to you another day, maybe.
Hey Sharon, do you have a sec? I think I figured it out. I'm like 99% sure I know which Terry Marilyn said she was dating. I don't know for sure, but it really fits the description. When you said that the guy has the exact same name, first, middle, and last, is the CEO of some kind of business and loves to fool around outside of his marriage, I just kinda knew. Apparently this Terry is pretty infamous for being a lavish and pretty unfaithful dude. And he's a CEO too. So I'm pretty sure that's not something to be happy about.
Man, there are definitely some rotten Terrys out there, huh? He's got a wife and he's still going out, finding women to sleep with him so that he has an extra room rented out just to sleep with them. Honestly, I was pretty mad about her whole attitude, but at this point, I'm feeling a bit bad for her.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. Even as a man, I can't really believe that someone would do that to his wife. But apparently he's not really able to be fooling around anymore. This is just a word on the street, but apparently his wife actually said that she was going to get a divorce, and he suddenly snapped out of it. The worst part of all this was he was actually married into her side of the family and took her name of the marriage. The company that Terry is running right now is actually originally his wife's parents' company to begin with. He just inherited after he got married to her.
Wait, hold on. So the second that she divorces him, he's gonna be terminated as CEO?
Yeah, apparently he was chased out of his own home and he's just as broke as the rest of us. Probably worse, actually. So if you ever do get the chance to talk to Marilyn again, you should just talk to her and let her know about all what I just told you. She should be happy. That Terry has no money or dignity, and if she still wants to marry him right now, I'm sure he would have no issues marrying her. Although, she'll probably be richer than him.
Yeah, I guess I'll let her know if I ever see her again. This is too perfect. Sharon, please, I need your help right now. I'm being sued by that other Terry's wife. She's demanding that I pay for damages. But I don't have any money at all. I definitely don't have any money to hire a lawyer for any kind of trial. I'm just going to lose and end up having to pay her a prosperous amount of money in damages. I don't want to just shut up and bend over for this lady. I don't want to pay for any kind of damages without a fight. Oh, perfect timing, Marilyn. I was really hoping that you would text me soon. You're gonna struggle a little bit with the damages and being sued or whatever, but I have good news for you. You remember your Terry, right? The guy you wanted to marry, but he was just playing around with you so you couldn't marry him? Well, apparently, he got a divorce. So if you're still interested, you can marry him. Good one, Sharon. Who the hell wants to marry some guy with literally no money and lies through his teeth? I want to get married to some serious money, do you understand? The perfect scenario for me is to get married to your man. Hopefully he's rich too. If you want to keep being stupid like that, then you need to get your Terry to agree to divorce you and come marry me. That's what you should be doing right now. Oh my god, you're still going on about that, huh? Even after all of this, you haven't learned your lesson. What? You always gave me stuff when I asked for it. You always ended up caving in the end. But then, you have yourself an heir to the throne and you want to keep him all to yourself? Gross! We grew up together like we were basically sisters. I remember when you were still 7 years old and picked your nose. You need to do the same thing that you did when you were that old and just share everything the second I ask for it.
Hey, can you go ahead and do me a favor and stop trying to take advantage of her kindness like that? You really need to cut that shit out. In fact, I would really appreciate it if you just cut all ties with her. Don't ever talk to her again. Would you be able to do that for me?
What? Who is this?
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm the real husband of your best friend. It sounds like you've been doing your best to give Sharon a headache because you keep saying that you want to get married to me. Something about you want her things?
Oh my god, no way! You're serious? The real thing? I want you to get married to me right now.
Yeah, there's no chance in hell I would ever marry someone like you. You've always bothered Sharon like that, always taking her things away from her, always just taking advantage of her kindness. Don't worry though. I took the liberty of talking to your parents about everything this time around. They know about everything you've done. I also went ahead and took screenshots of all the conversations that you've been having with her and then printed those conversations. They have those to look at too.
What the hell did you just say?
Yeah, Sharon is a really kind woman. I've always admired her for being that kind, and it seems like she's always been that kind. You seem to have been taking advantage of that fact for the longest time from when you were young too. She's always said that if she just keeps everything to herself and gave you what you wanted, everything would be fine. Or that she couldn't do anything because your families got along with each other. Well, it turns out that she's still under the impression that she can't say anything against it. So I'm gonna handle this as her husband. I've taken control of the situation and your parents have been informed.
What the hell are you doing, Terry? Why would you do that to me? What are you gonna do when our relationship is ruined because of you, huh? We've been childhood friends since we were children, and you're ruining it. Even our parents have got along with each other from since we were super young.
Having a little bit of a hiccup in your relationship or your parents losing their jobs, which one would you rather have happen? Go ahead and take your time. I'll wait.
What?
Yeah, I really did think that the whole coincidence with the same name CEO and everything was interesting, but there's another coincidence that I want to talk about. Your parents? Yeah, they work at a small company that works in conjunction with one of my parents' companies back in my hometown. Who would have thunk, right? We live in such a small world. We're all kind of connected.
What? You're being serious?
Yeah, and that's why both of your parents were both on their knees begging me to forgive them for your stupidity and selfishness. They said they'd make sure that you were never able to see me or mine ever again, and they'd be shipping you off to the middle of nowhere, Alaska. They promised me that they would take care of it.
What? Did you just say Alaska?
Honestly, I'm really glad your parents were so understanding about the whole thing, you know? It seems like they're already getting everything ready for you to move to middle of nowhere, Alaska, to go kick it with the polar bears. I'll be able to live my life comfortably with Sharon. Maybe we'll have a couple of mojitos together watching over our brand new lawn in the city.
Wait, just hang on a second. What are you talking about? Marilyn moving to the middle of nowhere, Alaska? I don't want to move. I'm not gonna do that. Do you understand? I don't want to move, so I'm not gonna.
You know, you're kind of more interesting than I thought. You really think you're in a position right now to be able to voice your opinion over what happens next?
Huh?
You know, it's really up to you if you want to dream about getting married to some kind of heir or something, but when you think about going for the biscuit, you have to think about the risks you might be taking too. What are you going to do if you ever decide to piss off the heir to a multi-trillion-dollar company, huh? Have you ever thought about that? What do you think that kind of person would be capable of doing to you?
Oh, I didn't.
You know, I've never been one to use my parents' company or my position in the company to get what I wanted. But when it comes to protecting the people I love, then the whole story changes. I will use my connections, my power, my company, my family, you name it. You know that heirs to the throne are capable of stomping you out just like you're some kind of ant, right? We don't just live in fancy apartments and sniff our own farts.
I'm sorry. Please stop. I'll move to the middle of nowhere, Alaska right away. I promise. I'm packing my things right now. So I'm begging you, please let my parents continue working at their company. They have nothing to do with any of this. Marilyn was moved to the middle of nowhere, Alaska, to live with some of her distant relatives who apparently happened to be Eskimos. Her Eskimo relatives weren't too happy. But they were okay with the fact that they would have an extra hand helping out around the dairy farm that they have. She's currently working day in and day out, covered in cow manure. She's earning her pay to make sure she can pay off the agreed upon amount for the damages that she is being sued for. Afterwards, I was able to have a wedding ceremony, and I live happily with my husband and I. It's really difficult living in a really big house because you have to clean up everything, and the yard is really huge too, so you have to take care of the lawn. You have to take care of his things too, so it's busy, but I'm going to keep working hard to support him going forward. Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.